Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. My last video I posted was the one where it showed the Iraqi citizens had stormed Parliament, and they don't necessarily seem angry if you look at them. They actually seem content or happy. I don't know what to think of it, but hey, that looked a little celebratory to me. That looked like Rep Bro was dancing there, didn't it? So I guess we have to come to our own conclusions on what it all meant. And one of the motivators of me talking about it is Dan, the subscriber Dan there. You can see his comment in my studio there. He said, I wish you would have talked about it. Dan, that made me laugh out loud. And I mentioned that I would find my way into it. So I'm going to do it on this one here. So let's look at it one more time, and then we're going to get some news from news rumors and opinions for today. But let's go back to the video, and I'm going to give some thoughts on it. And thought number one is we're looking for happy, because that's really what I've been seeing is happy. And I'm going to show you people getting their groove on. Here we go. Alrighty. You'll notice over here they're jumping up, happy, jump. Okay, now there's a guy coming up with a white hat on. He's gonna be getting his groove on. Over here on the left. Here he comes. There he is. Look at him getting down. And of course you remember the fella earlier that we saw. Eventually he's gonna be over to the right. But if you'll notice the folks, there he is, he getting down. See to the right there? They're waving the flag. They're waving the flag. They're dancing. They're happy. They're proud. They're risking their lives hanging off the edge of that thing there. But that's my impression on it, folks. It was something that they were celebrating. And I'm happy to see them celebrating. Now let's go to some news, rumors, and opinions. Okay, news, rumors, and opinions for Friday morning, 7:29. That's today. However, it's early evening here. It's after 5 p.m. But we got some RV excerpts for today, and according to the Charlie Ward on the Global Currency Reset, all 209 countries were now gold backed. That's very promising. And Wednesday, 27 July, Nader from the Middle East posted 2 videos saying that the dinar rate had revalued, but that the new rate was not yet made public. I watched at least one of those videos. One of the fellows in a text thread I'm in, posted it. So I did see that. We have to be careful, though, when we talk about new rates. A new rate could be very joyful for us, because that's what we're waiting for, or it could be restoring from 1450 back to the 1190. So that's a possibility too. So we'll wait and see. I don't know if that's justification for storming Parliament and celebrating, but I don't have an Iraqi citizen mindset. But certainly there's a lot of talk about the fact that the rate is changing and has changing up to the Prime Minister saying the same thing. Moving on, Mark Z said on the 28th that after being on lockdown since 23rd July, Iraqi citizens were now partying in the streets. So that's consistent with the view I gave on them storming Parliament. It seems celebratory to me. And he goes on to say it was rumored that the new dinar street rate was 328, and that rate was moving up on the Forex, and bankers were positioning tier 3 assets. All very promising, but hey, we've been here before. I say it every time. Let's stay grounded. Let's stay grounded. There's a lot of distraction and decoys and head fakes that go on in this. But when you look at citizens storming their parliament, and they're not doing it out of anger but out of celebration, that's a good sign. That's worth DK talking about it. All right. but not amongst the echo chamber, so I waited until now. So here, going on Saturday 30 July, the Iraqi Gazette will announce their prime minister along with the new Iraqi dinar rate. The majority of bondholders have not been paid, but should be notified upon market close on Friday 29. That's today. Market close should probably have happened since I'm Central Time, and that would make it 6:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless he's talking about UDT time or whatever it is. Tier 4B Us, the internet group, could receive our email notifications with the 800 number shortly after the bondholders notification, or they could wait until Monday, 1 August. Retention staff was ordered to be at their desks by noon on Saturday, tomorrow, the 30th of July. Tier 3 contact was notified that they would be funded late Monday evening, 25 July. On Tuesday, 26 July, there were reports from 2 reliable sources that certain paymaster sub-accounts had been paid. These contacts have been silent ever since. That's promising, and that's consistent with some of the other information we had before on some of the videos I did before, where they were beginning to pay some of the bond holders. Going on, we see the Chinese elders refused to sign documents that would have released the RV because those documents had been changed from the original agreement. So somebody's trying to do a little sneaky in there, and the Chinese elders caught it. And then they gave the cabal until Sunday, 24 July to change back to the original agreement. And by early Friday morning, Eastern 22 July, the Chinese elders had signed those documents at the U.S. Treasury, and the RV was released. Now, that's news that we've covered before in one of our videos, and so now we have substantiation of it having occurred, but we also have a little clarification and a little insight and understanding behind the scenes on what was going on. And I have zero doubt, zero, as in zero doubt, none, that the cabal is working hard to fight against this happening. Then we go on to Whiplash, who says, you all realize Gasara has begun. Zimbabwe using gold coins starting today. Now, we covered that in one of our prior videos, too, about Zimbabwe using gold coins. In a recent article dated the 25th of July regarding that use of gold coins, says Zimbabwe goes for the gold coin. That is, to fight high inflation. And some of the points that I thought worthy of note on this transition to using gold coins by Zimbabwe is each has a serial number, comes with a certificate, and will be sold at a price based on the prevailing international price of gold. And so keep that in mind, and the cost of production. Keep that in mind when you see here, it says here that they're selling 1 ounce 22 karat gold coins bearing an image of Victoria Falls, its world famous natural wonder. So that's 1 ounce of 22 karat gold in this coin that he has in his hand, which is actually a very attractive coin. But interesting, it says that they're selling the coin, I guess, as an option. And reading this article, it does show that they are struggling to force some of their businesses to use the Zimbabwean dollars and have more faith in it. And my take on this, folks, when you say selling, keep in mind this is a Western news source saying this, and selling the coin, to me, that kind of takes the regular citizen out of the picture. However, nonetheless, it is a transition to gold, with gold trading at $17.10 per troy ounce late last week at the time of this writing on the 25th of July. However, like it says here, no ordinary person will be able to afford it. So that changes everything in my sight. When earlier video, when I mentioned that it was kind of impressive that they were giving away gold coins to their citizens to fight the inflation. Now, I will say that I have no doubt that there's all types of misdirections and bad information out there. And so the fact of the matter is they do have the gold coins. It says they're selling them, but we know the coins are available one way or the other at 1 ounce of 22 karat gold. And it talks about the $100 trillion notes that we have. Now, there's some interesting points. I believe it was this article that I read it. And as it turned out, it was not that article that I read it, but it was amongst the body of the information that I'm reading from News, Rumors, and Opinions down here, where it says from a petrodollar to a global currency reset. And the point that I was looking for that was not in that article is right here. It says, therefore, a global gold standard is imminent, and no matter where you go, gold is gold is gold, implying a full currency reset back to a one-to-one exchange rate globally, meaning those Zimbabwean notes that have been hyperinflated, say the $1 trillion note that barely covers their monthly food bill, will be worth a lot, an unfathomable amount, along with the Iraqi dinar, Russian ruble, and other currencies. Well, the Russian ruble's already worth a lot. It's already backed by gold, so that's a given. Okay, now going back up here to some of the points made. Speaking of Russia, Russia and China have officially announced a new global reserve currency. That's very interesting. And we've talked in prior videos about the threatening of the hegemony of the US dollar and how the BRICS nations are, they're forging ahead. They literally are just doing the thing and getting it done. I don't know if the US is working a strategy or not, but the world is not waiting. Santa Surfing says, what will happen when the housing markets plunge 30% worldwide? U.S. banks won't get a bailout like they used to. The markets will have to plunge using fiat dollars in order for Gasara and Naxara to roll out and silver and gold to begin spiking. Well, then that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. And I actually, when I read this, I did the math, a 30% plunge on the value of my house, because right now things are hyperinflated. And I did a 30% drop in the value of my home, and it wouldn't drop anywhere where it would really scare me. It would drop back down to where it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, before the hyperinflated prices now that don't, so I mean, I'm not worried about it, but what's important is, they have to have chaos to create a reason to make this come out. And so hopefully my videos have helped guide folks to gold and silver too, but gold for sure, remember glint and everything like that. And believe it or not, folks, crypto, it's going to have its breathing point. They're trying to scare everyone away from it. Now, of course, like I mentioned, some things are going to die. They're going to certainly die, the overwhelming majority of them. But the others are going to be the Microsofts and the Amazons and the Googles of modern times. Homeowners in China have boycotted paying their mortgages. And the domino effect is happening now. There's links all over this article. The link to this News, Rumors, and Opinion will be here. So if you go to that link, you get all these other links. If you're interested in any particular topic that I cover, that I don't click on the link, which I won't be clicking on too many because I don't want this video to go much longer. China's property sales are set to also plunge 30%. They're liking that 30, aren't they? And then we go to Bruce, who says that the Gazette will be printed with the announcement of their prime minister, along with a new Iraqi dinar rate. I guess it won't take very long to find out if they're talking about 1430 to 1190, or if they're talking about 1450 to 328, or some other number. Time will tell. Time always tells. And so some of this is a rehash of information that's already been given, because it was very likely the source of the information that's already given. But down here, from the petrodollar to a global currency reset, we see here that on Thursday, 28 July, CERN turned on for 4 years, while for the first time Zimbabwe issued their gold currency, essentially a bridge to a gold standard for 209 nations that have now officially joined the global currency reset. There's all types of information out there, because I think of the BRICS nations. They set this off already. It's nice to see Zimbabwe joining. And as it talks about down here, as of now, the two biggest suppliers of oil, Saudi Arabia, they didn't finish it, Saudi and Russia, are both gold-backed, meaning if any nation wants an economy, they'll need to use a gold-backed currency to get oil to run their economy, at least until zero-point clean energy tech is fully disclosed. That is what I've been saying if you've been following along. And if you haven't, I hope you like my videos, and I hope you subscribe. But I've been saying it forever, and I'll continue saying it. You can't trade maple leaves for gold leaves. So if they're going gold back, you better come with some gold. And if we go up here, it says here the reality was that the petrodollar was born and became the world reserve currency when Kissinger essentially said, hey, we have this worthless paper not backed by anything. So we'll offer you guys our military protection, most advanced at the time, in exchange for you making every nation pay for your oil and US dollars. Those days are done, folks. And they're doing their best, they're doing their best to keep us in the United States clueless. I hope that my audience is not clueless. And I will finish this out by reading the words here from Petra and Militiaman. This is great news. Kazemi announcing to citizens a new exchange rate is coming, hopefully tomorrow in the Gazette, like it said. I don't know how to respond. We'll find out, Petra. It's exciting. It's good. It's something we all have been waiting for quite some time. And Militiaman says, I'm a little bit numb. I pinched myself a couple times because at this stage of the game it may not be terribly surprising, but it's surprising because it's actually here, he says. We're seeing the results of all the things we've been talking about come to fruition. Things that we never even thought of are happening. That's true. It's time to give them what they need and show them a new exchange rate. Well, as we started out with the celebratory moments from the protesters, folks, maybe that's what's going on.
And so, maybe we're going to be joining them dancing. Here's the guy with the trash can. He's dancing too. Maybe we're going to be joining them in dancing here soon, folks. Like, if you recall, the guy in the white hat doing his thing right there. And then, so, that's all I got, folks. Hopefully, what people think is happening is actually happening. There's a dancer. And we'll be glad to find out. So, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I've talked about it. Like these Iraqi citizens. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.